Yeah.
So was you trained Tuesday night, Thursday night after work?
That was it, yeah.
Played on a Saturday.
It was always a Saturday you played, didn't you?
In them days, yeah.
Christmas Day, we always played.
Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's just unreal now, isn't it? And I was just looking on the pictures there. You played with Andy Gregory's dad, didn't you? Arthur Gregory, yeah. And Les Bettingson's on the photos. I don't see as much of Les these days. And
somebody said he's got out. There's a lot of them.
Is there? Yeah. I know Charlie Wynn passed away last week.
Yeah, I know Charlie.
Yeah,
he was
he's one of the directors, wasn't
he? She keeps saying to me, I've got Alzheimer's and all.
Yeah. No, you might have dementia. No, you're not got the Alzheimer's yet. But yeah, I think Les Bettingson's got it. Right. And there's somebody else as well. See, we only pick up bit because I've got a brother he lives off Shamrock Grove,
right?
And my sister lives on Gore Avenue.
Yeah.
And so I get tidbits, I get feedback from the grandchildren's football.
Yeah.
All this is United.
Yeah.
But you see, they don't play in schools now, do they?
No.
I mean, Cedar Council had a great rugby team.
Yeah.
And the other one, Liverpool Street.
Yeah.
They had great rugby teams then.
Yeah, they certainly don't play it much now.
No. Sure.
So you made your debut at Liverpool City, another one to fall by the wayside.
That was it's very, very strange that because I didn't know nothing about rugby league, honestly. And what they did is they put me right in when they come down here, and all I'd had was a couple of lads down there training. You do this and you do that and you do the next thing. And I didn't have a clue. So in the end, I changed with the wingman. I played on the blinking wing. You know what I mean? Because
just have a look at it.
Yeah, in them days, I think Bryn Hartley was the wingman that day.
Oh, Bryn,
and he was a local Salford guy, wasn't he?
Oh, he was a great Bryn Hartley. I'm almost sure it was Bryn. And Bryn said, because I'd started calling me Duffy then, and not Hughie, it was because I'd only been there 2 or 3 weeks. And he said, and Bryn was on leave. He was in the
they were all doing.
He was in the National Service, I think. And he said, I'll go in, he says, and you go on the wing. And I scored a blinking try on the wing. I think you'll find that it was right. And when that happened, they all said, oh, well, you can play on the wing anytime. And I thought, I don't want to play on the wing, really, because you're out there and you can't get the ball. No. Until somebody comes out and passes the ball, you're.
Dice says to him, Hughie, stop running with your head up. Hughie said, he said, Hughie,
they'll take it off you.
Told you. Yeah. But no, did he listen? No. And what happened? Stiff armed. Down.
How was you for injuries? Was you running the middle or did you get any bad ones?
I mean, I got broken noses and that cauliflower ears that I've still got like that.
Look at them, what a mess.
But, I
they
never...
just stuck a needle in it.
You had to get them to draw the blood out.
Yeah.
Oh,
but they don't do that now, do they?
They're solid. Feel them.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they're solid. Been like that ever since.
God.
It's just...
But you were classed as, reading about it, you're one of the best loose forwards of your time. It credits you on the website.
Just unfortunate that there was Vince Corellius at the same time and that other one that was good.
Yeah, Vince Corellius was a good bunny.
He was a fantastic player.
Yeah.
The thing was, Huddersfield wanted to sign me. They wanted to sign me even before Salford. But I wouldn't go. And Huddersfield had a great team then. They signed a few good people then, and I don't know why I signed for Salford because
it's a great plan.
What happened really was I knew Jimmy Douglas that well. You know what I mean? Because Douglas was the bakers in the town,
right?
Or one of the bakers in the town, and they were a great family. Jimmy's family is a great, and he come up and he said, I'm not pressing you this and that. He says, but I hear you're thinking about going to Huddersfield. And he brought with him Eppinstall in...
Oh, Eppinstall was Halifax, you mean?
Not Eppinstall, what's it?
He lived on Lancaster Road.
Yeah. What was his name?
Cadman, or it was the other one, they had dealings.
The little one.
Yeah, the directors.
Right.
You know.
Waste of time.
So they come up and they said blah blah blah, you know, a lot of things. And they said, I think it was, we'll give you £500 now on your hand, and we'll give you £800, you know, when you play and you know, play a couple of games or something. And I don't know what happened. I just said,
Just go and see what that dog's doing.
I'll go on. I'll sign on for it. And then after I'd signed on, and I'd taken the money. If I hadn't taken the money, I would have blinking knocked it.
Was it handshake or contract?
Well, they were sorting the contract out, but they'd given me some money there, and that was the next day that I got the invitation. Would I be eligible for the Barbarians tour, Easter tour? You know what I mean? If I'd known that, I'd have gone on the Barbarians Easter tour, but because I'd taken some money, and I had taken all the lads out that night and got them pissed and all. It would have been hard to replace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Happiest days of your life in Salford?
it was, well, I was going to say then, when I come to Salford, I could have cried. Bloody hell, when I seen it, I couldn't believe it. They put me in that pub next to the cathedral in Manchester.
Mitre.
Oh, the Mitre. The old Mitre, yeah.
They put me in but Tommy Harrison had it, you know.
Yeah.
And they put me in that
Still there
before,
now.
yeah, is it? Mitre?
It's still a dear place, yeah.
And it was, I think, just before Tommy had it, you know, and they put me in there. And anyway, they moved me to the west, and they put me in the west.
Oh God!
Then put me
Thriving place in those days.
put me next to the ground with Mrs. Harrison.
Right.
She lived in Kennedy Road.
No, she lived in Bath.
Bath.
Yeah.
Yeah. She lived in Bath Road.
She lived in Bath, and Graham Jones lodged with her.
He
as
did,
well.
yeah. It was Graham and I and Mrs. Harrison's.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So they said that they were getting a house for my mother and that to come down.
So did your mum come down?
Oh yeah, she came down with me.
All right.
Yeah, eventually, eventually, just 2 or 3 weeks after a bit, she came down.
It's been a shock to you, Marty.
And, well, it was a shock to us all, really.
She went in Sid Williams' house. Do you remember Sid Williams? Do you remember his name? He was
I've heard the name, yeah.
Yeah, he played for Salford.
He played for Salford.
Yeah.
And she lived in there, you see. And, well, you lived in the back door. And
I lived at 66.
yeah.
You lived at 60. That's how we met, on the pavement.
So then you ended up going out with a superstar then?
She was a Salford supporter, and then after we got married, she wasn't.
We used to go, and we got a free ticket and sat in those seats, you know, the hard seats. We used to just sit there, and you were nearly sat on the ground, weren't you? You were really close to them. Happy days.
Great ground.
And they had the bar under the stand on the opposite side where the place
came out.
I had to go home because we had kids.
Gosh.
But the thing that got me more than anything was when it was really bad weather and that, I used to train under the old stand and run up and down. You couldn't believe it.
That stand.
You know what I mean?
Changing rooms under that stand till the end was
it was all, you know, it was
open roof.
And I used to, I'm not saying it because you know, here I could run a bit. You know, I mean, I was one of these that I could run the field the length of the field 2 or 3 times, one after the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's many's a time when I was playing like in the forwards, I've got many's a back that's broke on the line, and I've chased them down, and I could move a bit, you know. Until I got married, I slowed down. But I remember, I remember it was maybe the second or third week. I was training, and when they said you've got to run your fastest from this to that end, and I run, and I was miles in front of everybody. And Tommy Harrison come up, he says, Hughie, he says, you don't run that bloody fast, he says. I says, why? He says, if you run that bloody fast, he says, they'll give you everything to do. You know what I mean? He says, you've got to keep with it. So I started running with the back instead, you know. And that was in the first 2 or 3 days. Well, first 2 or 3 games, not days. Because I was going home at first, playing a game, and then going home and then coming back at first.
How long will that take to get up there, then?
Well, it was quite a thing in them days.
It used to take us half a day to get to Yorkshire, because we used to go on the fields ends.
You know,
you have to take a big bag full of
fields ends or Abbots.
And
somebody should have written about all these stuff.
When I eventually come down here, and I only had to go, like, as you know, Bath Road, Kennedy Road, only 50 yards, you know. They used to say, you're a cheeky bugger, you. I say, well, I'm a cheeky bugger. You know, this was Keaveney and all them blinking lot. And Keaveney was in the Air Force then. Well, you turn up here, and as soon as it's finished, you're away. I says, because I've got a bath at bloody home. I says, why am I going in a bath? Because they all went in the same bath in them days. Yeah. Can you remember that? Yeah. And it was a big square bath. Yeah. I said, I'm not having a bloody bath with you, you know. And they ended up, some of them started coming out of the house for a bath, didn't they? You know, it was so funny. It was unbelievable. But I mean, that was what the camaraderie was. The players was
great company.
You know what I mean? They were good.
They never swore in front of women.
Oh,
none of them. I mean, and the big hard men, you never heard swearing when the women were over. Never.
You know, they were really. They were a good.
You couldn't understand them because they were all Lancashire. And he used to say,
what they saying?
He said, it's like being with a foreigner. Keaveney. He says,
Keaveney was terrible.
He says, what's he saying?
He must remember I had been in Berlin and all, and I'd played in Berlin against, well, all sorts of teams, you know, because it was great to be a rugby player in the army. You got, well, I ended up with a posting at Dumfries driving.
I've just come back. I've just come back from there yesterday.
What, you have?
Yeah, my auntie lives in Wigtown.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, I've just come back yesterday. Yeah.
I was stationed on the White Stands there.
Right, yeah.
You see, and the fella that was my major, he became a brigadier general in the end, was Major Coots.
Right.
You see, so he said to me, he said, "What are you doing here, Duffy?" I said, I've been posted here, sir, because my father died, as I told you, you know, when we got a career. I mean, I was ready to board the train that night when he died.
Oh, wow.
And I says, I've been posted here until I can get sent to Korea. You know, until there was another boat going. And he said, you're bloody not. I said, why, sir? What is it? He says, you're bloody my babysitter from now on. He says, you're stopping in here. And he took me in. All I did was drive him around. And every now and again, when him and the wife went out, I'd drive them to where they were going.